Hello, believers, deniers, and sheeple. Welcome to Conspiracy Talk, the podcast where we make up ridiculous conspiracy theories to oppose real world subjects. My name is Dan, and I am your host. Today we have returning guest Lucy.
Hello again.
Welcome back. Um, so, as we know, Queen Elizabeth II, she died on what was it? September 8th, 2022. Or did she?
Allegedly.
That is the subject of today's episode. So, I'm gonna go first with this one. And here's what really happened with the Queen. Now, as you know, the Queen was a very famous monarch in the UK, Canada, areas like that. And she actually died in 19 in the 1990s. I don't really know when. But here's the thing. Now, Lucy, as a British person, do you know anything about the Cold War?
No.
No? Okay. Well, guess
Wasn't
what?
it like Russia versus the US?
Yeah, kind of. Now, you see, what actually happened with the monarchy here when Queen Elizabeth died in the 1990s. They they were concerned for the world with all this Cold War stuff going on, even though it wasn't affecting the UK much and the other. I don't know how many different things have the monarchy, but they didn't want to disturb the world because let's be honest, Queen Elizabeth dying that's like a war starter right there, and we didn't want to have another like war. So they're like, okay, we can't tell them that she's dead, but she's got to appear at this event next week. What are we gonna do? So the monarchy, the monarch family, the royal family, is that what you call it? The royal family,
Yes.
being very rich, they hired the best makeup artists, the best costume designers, and everything like that, and they took good old Prince Charles and they dressed him up like Queen Elizabeth.
Right.
And because he's the next in line, he still has to do it. But they're like, let's make them think that this is still Queen Elizabeth. So that means um, that Prince Charles has been Queen Elizabeth for the past 30 or so years. It hasn't been Queen Elizabeth herself. It's been Prince now King Charles. Now just to check. But you see, people won't just take it easily if Prince Charles disappears. So you know what they did then? The royal family, being probably the richest family in the world, hired the best makeup designers, the best costume designers, and stuff like that. And let me see if I can find it. Who comes after Prince Charles?
Prince William.
And they dressed up Prince William to look like Prince Charles. Now, let me double check this. No, Prince William is old enough to do that. Now you see, you can't just have Prince William disappearing either. So you know what they did? The royal
Did they
family,
hire the best
being
makeup?
the richest family in the world, they hired the best makeup people, the best costume designers, and they dressed up Prince William's first son. Where
I
is
genuinely don't remember his name. He's gonna be king one day, and I don't know his name.
who's the
I know
new
there's one called Louis, but I don't think he's the firstborn.
Okay.
Prince.
King Charles is, then it's William, then it's gonna be George.
Ah, yes.
Um, and so you see, they took George and they did all the makeup, And the thing, and this just to be clear, this Prince George, he's currently 9. So, or they say he's 9. The thing is,
They
he's
say
been
he's
dressing
9.
up like Prince William for the past 30 years, and was only able to be born recently. So he's actually like 50 by now. But
So are you saying that they've had another child and called him William, but actual William is dressed as
no, 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 they
Charles?
had another George,
They
and
had a second George. There's two Georges.
the George we see now is actually George's child. But it's kind of
Okay.
worked out to the point where that we don't need the other George, so he's just kind of went to France or something. But yeah,
Right,
that's
okay.
that's the theory here. Queen Elizabeth died in 1990s, and through a series of costumes and makeup, the whole lineup has shifted up one until we were able to readjust until it got too much, so they decided that she could actually die in 2022. That is my theory. Lucy, if you would like to share
Wow.
your theory.
Well, that was very interesting. So my theory is actually the opposite of your theory. My theory is that the Queen never actually died and that she is still alive today. Um, the logic being is that we've never seen the body. So realistically, can we you've seen this in films. Never assume someone's dead unless you've seen the body, and we have not seen the body. We've all heard about what happened in London. There were hours and hours of queues to go and see the Queen's coffin. But was she inside it? Honestly, probably not. Because why would they put the Queen just out there for literally anyone to get to? Yes, there were guards, but I really doubt they put the Queen in there. Where is she? Still alive. She's still alive at Balmoral Castle, which is where she supposedly died. I believe she has a huge family, right? I believe she wanted to spend Christmas with her family in peace. No more Christmas card photos, no more public speeches, no more Queen's speech on Christmas Day because that takes a good chunk out of her time. I'm sure she wanted to go and play board games with the family and live the quiet old lady life she deserves after years of hard work as the Queen. So I think it was all a cover up. They made up that she died because it felt like we all knew it was coming. When in reality, we shouldn't know when someone's about to die, especially the Queen. Because if she'd been unwell for a long time, how did all the news channels seem to know before it happened? We had 24-hour live feed on Balmoral. People seemed to know it was coming before it happened, and then no one was really surprised when it actually happened, allegedly. So I think Her Majesty the Queen, being the rich family that they are, she's able to afford to stay undercover in secret. She has a big castle to roam around, and she's living her happy life on the farm. It's like, when someone's like, oh, your dog ran away to a farm. That's what's happened. But Queen Elizabeth actually ran away to a farm and it's actually the castle. So she is still alive. She's still alive and kicking, and she's having a great time with her whole family, and living her best majesty, or former majesty, I should say now, life. And also, Prince Charles agreed to this idea because he's getting on a bit as well, and he wanted a chance being king because Queen Elizabeth is seemingly immortal. Um, and he kind of figured, oh, I don't know if I'm going to last much longer. So he thought, right, I need to be king before there's no chance to do it anymore, not properly. So he's having his turn as king, and then William will resume normal royal activities. So that's my theory. Because how would a family that has access to the best medical care in the world, completely free of charge, how would they let someone die? They couldn't. They wouldn't. Especially not the Queen. She has infinite money. So realistically, the Queen is still alive, and you heard it here first.
Yeah. All right. Well, before we wrap this up, I didn't say it at the beginning, but disclaimer: here at Conspiracy Talk, we don't believe or endorse any of our conspiracy theories, nor do we support misinformation, disinformation, or malinformation. Anything you heard in the past 10 minutes was purely for fun and entertainment, and I hope you were entertained by that Queen Elizabeth talk. Lucy, do you have anything else you want to add?
Yeah, actually,
Oh,
just
okay.
while you were doing your disclaimer, How did all the news people around the world, they all knew she was going to die. It was planned because they all had their black ties ready to go. You know, they were all ready. All the graphics and banners and the press release was already made. Everything was ready. Everybody knew it was coming. Therefore, it was planned.
Mm,
And Queen Elizabeth is still alive.
interesting. All right. Well, she's either alive or has been dead for 30 years. Who knows? Anyways, thank you for listening to Conspiracy Talk. Conspiracy Talk is owned and produced by Open Mic Podcast. If you like this show and want to see more, or if you like Conspiracy Talk and want to see what else Open Mic Podcast has to offer, subscribe to Open Mic Podcast on YouTube or follow Open Mic Podcast on Spotify and Instagram. Come back next Sunday for the next episode of Conspiracy Talk, but come back tomorrow for the next episode of Fake It Till You Make It, the podcast where my guest has absolutely no idea what they're talking about.